Barry Gibb, born on September 1st, 1946 in Douglas, Isle of Man, is best known as the frontman of the legendary Bee Gees. Raised in a working-class family, his childhood was marked by frequent relocations from Manchester to Redcliffe, Queensland, Australia. It was in Australia that the foundations of his musical genius took shape. Along with his brothers Maurice and Robin, Barry crafted songs that would go on to define the pop and disco eras. Their synergy was almost psychic, and their ability to blend melodies and harmonies was unparalleled. As the principal songwriter and lead vocalist, Barry's voice, particularly his falsetto, became synonymous with the Bee Gees' iconic sound, with timeless hits like Staying Alive, How Deep Is Your Love, and Night Fever dominating the charts in the late 1970s. The Bee Gees' rise to stardom, a legacy of timeless hits. The Bee Gees became one of the best-selling music acts of all time, with over 220 million records sold worldwide. Barry Gibb's songwriting brilliance wasn't confined to his own group. He wrote and produced for numerous other artists, including Islands in the Stream by Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, and Heartbreaker by Dionne Warwick. His ability to jump across genres from pop to soul to country established him as one of the most versatile songwriters in the world. His falsetto voice and emotionally charged lyrics made the Bee Gees the heartbeat of the disco era. The Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, in particular, became a cultural phenomenon, securing the Bee Gees' place in music history. Barry's creative vision ensured that the Bee Gees remained relevant through multiple eras, cementing their influence across generations. The tragedy of loss, surviving the death of his brothers. Despite his immense success, Barry Gibb's life has been marked by profound tragedy. He was the last surviving Gibb brother after the deaths of his brothers Andy, Maurice, and Robin. Andy, who passed away in 1988, was a younger brother whose career never reached the same heights as the Bee Gees. Maurice's death in 2003 and Robin's in 2012 left Barry with a sense of deep loss and isolation. While he has spoken candidly about the pain of outliving his siblings, Barry chose not to retreat from the world. Instead, he carried their legacy forward, continuing to perform and record music. His 2016 solo album In the Now was an emotional reflection of both the joy and sorrow of his journey. Through music, Barry honors the bond he shared with his brothers, a connection that remains alive in his heart. Barry Gibb's family. A pillar of strength and support beyond his musical achievements, Barry Gibb's life has been shaped by his enduring family bonds. His first marriage to Maureen Bates, which ended in divorce in 1970, marked a brief chapter in his early adulthood. However, it was his second marriage to Linda Gray in 1970 that proved to be the cornerstone of his personal happiness. The couple married on Barry's 24th birthday, and their relationship has been one of the longest and most stable in the entertainment industry. Together, they have 5 children, including Stephen Gibb, who followed in his father's footsteps to pursue a career in music. Barry and Linda's strong family values have been central to their lives, and they continue to be devoted parents and grandparents. Their family life has been a source of stability amid the challenges of fame. Barry Gibb's influence on music, a legacy that endures. Barry Gibb's influence on the music industry cannot be overstated. From his work with the Bee Gees to his collaborations with other artists, his contributions have shaped the sound of pop, soul, and disco. As a 2-time inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, once as a member of the Bee Gees and again as a songwriter, Barry's legacy is enshrined in the pantheon of musical greats. His ability to craft timeless melodies has made him one of the most respected songwriters of all time. Despite his success, Barry has remained humble, always giving credit to the people who have supported him throughout his career, especially his brothers. His influence continues to be felt today, with new generations of musicians drawing inspiration from his work. Barry Gibb reflects on his relationship with John Lennon. As he approaches his 78th birthday, Barry Gibb has begun to reflect more openly on his personal relationships and the individuals who shaped his career. One of the most intriguing figures in Barry's life was John Lennon. For decades, fans have speculated about the relationship between the Bee Gees and the Beatles. Both groups dominated the music scene during overlapping periods, but their paths rarely crossed in public. Now Barry Gibb has chosen to speak candidly about his impressions of Lennon, a man who revolutionized the music world in the 1960s. Barry admitted that as a teenager, he was deeply influenced by the Beatles. The raw energy and innovation of songs like Please Please Me and She Loves You electrified him, and Lennon became a symbol of artistic freedom. Meeting John Lennon, a powerful first encounter. Barry's first encounter with John Lennon occurred at a music industry party in London in the late 1960s. Barry recalled feeling nervous as Lennon entered the room, exuding an undeniable aura of magnetic presence. But what truly struck Barry was Lennon's intellect and sense of humor. Despite his public persona as a rebellious figure, Lennon was warm, engaging, and full of thoughtful conversation. Barry remembered how Lennon complimented the Bee Gees' vocal blend, calling it beautifully strange, a remark that stuck with him for years. The encounter with Lennon was a pivotal moment for Barry, as it left a lasting impression on his view of artistic authenticity and musical innovation. John Lennon's influence on the Bee Gees' evolution. As the Bee Gees' fame grew in the 1970s, Barry often wondered how Lennon viewed their transformation into disco icons. Despite the criticism that disco faced in some quarters, Barry suspected that Lennon, a fellow innovator, respected the Bee Gees' ability to evolve musically. While he never had the chance to ask Lennon directly, Barry later learned that Lennon privately admired the Bee Gees' songwriting, particularly their knack for crafting songs that resonated deeply with audiences. However, Barry also acknowledged the complex dynamics between the two groups. Lennon, known for his biting wit and occasional sarcasm, sometimes made dismissive comments about the Bee Gees. Though these remarks stung at the time, Barry now understands that they were likely a reflection of Lennon's own inner struggles. John Lennon's death, a deep personal loss. In December 1980, John Lennon's tragic death shocked the world. Barry Gibb, who was in a Miami studio when he heard the news, recalled feeling as though the world had stopped. For Barry, Lennon's murder was not just the loss of a peer, but the loss of a cultural icon whose voice had inspired millions. The grief was palpable, and Barry admitted that he cried that night. It wasn't just a personal loss. It was the loss of a man who had challenged authority, given hope to a generation, and left an indelible mark on the world. Barry now reflects on Lennon's life and legacy with deep reverence, acknowledging the profound influence Lennon had on his own musical journey. Barry Gibb's tribute to John Lennon, a legacy of inspiration. Now, in his late 70s, Barry Gibb looks back on his life and his encounters with John Lennon with a sense of gratitude. He views Lennon not as a distant figure, but as a human being, a brilliant, flawed, and courageous man. Barry recognizes that Lennon's brutal honesty and willingness to push boundaries were instrumental in shaping his own approach to music. In reflecting on Lennon's legacy, Barry says, "John challenged us all to think more, to feel more, and to never stop asking questions." Barry acknowledges that Lennon's influence helped,